We found you in this. This was in the chamber with you. I took it to a metallurgist at Kansas State. He said whatever it was made from didn't even exist on the periodic table. That's another way of saying that it's not from this world, Clark.
They surprisingly asked no questions and let me take my miracle stone home without ever calling anybody. See, they knew how to keep a secret. And it turns out years later, Clark does a good job carrying that secret. Like when a bully inflicts no physical harm on him whatsoever, so he crucifies his truck, costing God knows how much money in damages. But at least he didn't save anybody. So, seeing how we're watching Clark go on this long journey, are we finally gonna get some idea of what his personality is like? Yeah, you all know the answer to this. Hello, other characters and subplots! One of them being Lois Lane, played by Amy Adams, doing a report on some sort of disturbance.
Oh, hell no, you cannot badmouth Lois Lane. She is a stronger character, a more confident one. She's a risk taker. She doesn't have time for the military's pissing contest. She actually does something in this film. And she's not always screaming for someone to save her.
Yeah, that is until she's hit by the Nolan ray.
The what?
The Nolan ray. You see, I have no doubt that Zack Snyder started off having Lois as an interesting, funny, opinionated character. Because at first, she does seem that way.
If we're done measuring dicks, can you have your people show me what you found?
But then she's zapped by the Nolan ray, and suddenly every line of dialogue is emphasizing the weight of how important the movie you're watching is. Remember when his father was bawling him out like a real father?
Right, we talked about this. You have.
Boom! Nolan ray!
You're the answer to Are We Alone in the Universe?
Remember how Lois Lane was feisty and took no nonsense from anybody?
Well, what can I say? I get writer's block if I'm not wearing a flak jacket.
Boom! Nolan ray!
The questions raised by my rescuer's existence are frightening to contemplate.
Even Perry White, played by Lawrence Fishburne. He starts off in your face screaming about stories and deadlines.
You let Woodburn just shotgun it all over the internet. No, let's make it 3 weeks since you're so willing to agree with me.
Oh, that's way too interesting. Little bit of the Nolan ray will fix that.
Can you imagine how people on this planet would react if they knew there was someone like this out there?
The Nolan ray, because whatever important issue you're talking about, it can always be more important.
Critic, you know, sometimes life is like that. Life can be tough. Life can be cruel. Life can throw lobster costumes and nipple tasers into your reality.
Am I ever gonna know the story to that?
The less you know, the better.
So Lois follows a certain laser-eyeing someone into the ice where she discovers a spaceship. A spaceship that apparently saw her performance in Julie and Julia. But Clark is there to take down the machine, heal her wounds, and apparently leave her for dead. When she observes that Clark has taken the spaceship away, she tries to write a report on it, only to find her boss won't run it. So she lets it leak to the internet.
My editor won't print it, but if it happened to leak online...
But didn't you once describe my site as a creeping cancer of falsehoods?
Hey look, it's TMZ.
That was a good one.
They're the scum of the earth.
So Clark loads the exposition program, and through some pretty awesome effects, a computer with what's left of Jor-El explains Krypton's history.
I am your father, Cal. That's my name.
And I'm Javert!
Our race spread out through the stars. This scout ship was one of thousands launched into the void.
We sent thousands of these scout ships, and yet our backup plan in case the world blows up was a little baby-sized pod. You can see why we didn't last very long.
Artificial population control was established.
So it's explained that Clark is Krypton's first natural birth in centuries. Not exactly sure how they control that, whether everyone just kept to the honor system or if they genetically altered babies to be born with chastity belts, but regardless, Clark has apparently broken the chain. And he now knows it's his job to do what he can for all mankind. So he practices flying around the mountainside while the cameraman practices keeping his finger off the goddamn zoom button. Yeah, you may notice very quickly, there's a lot of this in this movie. For no reason at all, whenever there's fast-paced motion, the camera has to zoom in on it like a monkey with a fucking camcorder. How do you think the cinematographer came across that ingenious move?
No, come on, honey, give Daddy the camera. No, I have to show Mr. Snyder my test footage for Man of Steel tomorrow. Please, no, come on, honey. Give it back. Not the self-destruct button, no. I didn't even know we had one of those. Put that down. The microphone doesn't twist. I can explain.
I love this.
I knew you would.
So Lois goes searching for her rescuer / leaver of people to die in the snow, and through asking questions and listening to hearsay, she locates exactly where he is. Of course this calls for celebrating with another flashback.
Tired of safe. I just want to do something useful with my life.
So farming, feeding people, that's not useful. Our family's been farming for 5 generations, Clark.
But wait a minute, Papa Kent. Didn't you just in a few flashbacks say that he was destined to change the world when people discovered him?
When the world finds out what you can do, it's going to change everything.
And now you're saying you never want him to be discovered and you just want him to be a farmer? I'm starting to think Clark has 3 fathers. Jarrell, John, and John's other friggin' personality. But get ready for a big shock here. Something big and terrible tries to kill them. And thus they all try to seek shelter.
Hey, still in the car! Head to the car!
I'll get him. I'll get him.
No. Get your mom to the overpass.
But wait a minute.
Hey!
What about Boomer?
Boomer will be saved by John, even though it would have been a lot easier if he just sent Clark in to go get him, causing John to hurt his leg, unable to make it back in time. But he stops Clark from saving him because he's an attention-hungry martyr who doesn't want Clark to be outed, even though he's going to be outed just a few years later anyway.
Wait, what? Yup, even though there's about a million other ways this problem could have been solved, John Kent sacrifices himself because he stands by how Clark should change the world by never doing a goddamn thing.
He's just doing what he thinks is right.
But it's not right!
But he thinks it's right.
Does that make it right?
Does that make it not right?
Not right?
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 Right.
Right! What the hell did we just agree on?
You see, this movie's deeper than you think. It's raising questions.
Oh, shut up! While we're at it, why does everyone in this movie take death like a light breeze? All of the people who die in this film never flinch, move, or even make a noise. And these deaths have ranged from stabbing, explosion, and tornado. I think somebody in that lineup would at least go, ow!
Maybe.
Well, the movie's tired of waiting for Clark to actually do anything, so General Zod appears on the Monarch ship to threaten the world to hand him over.
I think whoever's at the helm of that thing is looking to make a dramatic entrance.
Thanks for the arrow, by the way. We never will have known what we were supposed to look at.
You are not. My name is General Zod. I come from a world far from yours.
So it looks like their ability to take over all of Earth's video footage understandably gives a barely visible picture. But for some reason, that sound sure seems crystal clear.
To Kal-El, I say this. Surrender within 24 hours.
And tell Nash thanks for the microphone. It works great.
No problem, tyrannical overlord!
Watch this world suffer the consequences.
This is Orson Welles, ladies and gentlemen, to assure you that the War of the Worlds has no further significance than as the holiday offering it was intended to be.
So Clark tries to figure out what to do and seeks the advice of both his mother and possibly a higher source. What is that?
I don't know where to start. Wherever you want.
I can't make that out. What is that?
Do you know why they want you? No.
Jesus!
I can't hear you of your obvious symbolism!
Jesus! I am Jesus!
We got the point, okay? Go to the next scene! Go to the next scene!
Jesus!
So Clark reveals himself and surrenders to the military, who have also brought in Lois, seeing how she's the only one who knew anything about his existence.
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
Well, here it's an S.
Oh, I could look at your ass all day.
Really?
Hey, you done worse.
IS titties. IS and titties. IS titties. IS and titties.
So he convinces humanity that he's not a threat and that he's going to hand himself over to Zod. Humanity goes, okay, and lets him turn himself in to Zod's second in command, Feora. But she also seems to want Lois to go with too.
General Zod would like this woman to accompany me.
It's all right. I'll go.
We also got Julie and Julia on planet Krypton. You will pay for costing Meryl Streep an Oscar.
As if she doesn't have enough.
Shut up.
So they go aboard Zod's ship, but Clark has a hard time adapting to their atmosphere.
What's happening to him?
He's rejecting our ship's atmospherics. Hello, Cal.
Welcome to my weird mental thingy.
I and my fellow officers was sentenced to the Phantom Zone.
So Zod explains how they were freed once Krypton was destroyed and how they got the ship working to travel to Earth to find him.
I will find him!
Yeah, we remember. He explains that the codex for all living things on Krypton is in his possession, and so he has the power to make Krypton live again.
If Krypton lives again, what happens to Earth?
The foundation has to be built on something.
You know, is it really wise to tell your only hope for the future of your race that you're going to destroy his place that he calls home? Wouldn't that kind of make him resistant and thus make things go a little slower? Maybe this wasn't what he was supposed to see. Maybe they accidentally put in the wrong program to show him.
If I give you the codex, what happens to Earth?
The foundation has to be built on something. No, 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 no! No, no! Skulls! Skulls everywhere? Who does that? You can't. This isn't going to make him happy. It'll turn you into a raving psychotic. Run the happy program. The happy program! See? Much better. Look, we've got dancing bunnies here, and oh, look at the flowers all smiling. And oh, there's even a unicorn riding a marshmallow rainbow. Isn't that adorable?